Hi, this is Rob Payne with RSVP Northern Virginia, and welcome to our newest podcast. Today we are at River Farm outside of Alexandria, Virginia, the beautiful River Farm, where we had several of our RSVP volunteers doing a group service project for the American Horticulture Society. One of the volunteers that took part in today's project is Sue Dussinger of Alexandria. And Sue, welcome to the podcast.
Glad to be here, Rob.
Thank you. Sue, do you remember, can you tell us a little bit how you got involved with RSVP?
Well, it was an offshoot of my work with Volunteer Fairfax. And I believe it was when the two organizations started working closer together. And I think my first effort was an information booth at the Fairfax Festival.
The Fall Festival, the big one they have in October.
The big one they have in October.
Right.
And I had the pleasure of working with Nadia.
Uh-huh.
And it started me off knowing that I wanted to do more with RSVP.
And you had we mentioned before we started talking here, you had mentioned that you had several years of volunteer experience with Volunteer Fairfax, which of course is we're a program of Volunteer Fairfax. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. Probably 11 or 12 years, which I've thoroughly enjoyed.
That's good.
Yes, but I could go on. You meet the most wonderful people. As far as I'm concerned, I get more benefit than the people I'm helping. If that sounds selfish, well, but I know I'm helping people, but it really helps you as a volunteer, I think, to grow a little bit. And I love interacting with people. The first thing I did was with Volunteer Fairfax was the Alive distribution. This is the second time I've helped out at the River Farm Group Project. The first time we planted pansies, which unfortunately I learned today did not survive. But that's okay.
That's all right.
I'm still back here.
Good deal. Now, and when did you retire? We were talking earlier out in the garden.
I retired from my job in 2012, February 3rd, 2012.
2012. So you've been retired for about a little bit over 6 years.
After that, within a month, I was working at Curves, which is an exercise facility for women, and that was like a full-time, part-time, literally. But always volunteered all through that.
Now, we were talking as someone who is somewhat of a fitness specialist. Then, why is it important for seniors to volunteer?
Well, we talk about this a lot at Curves because I'm still involved with them. And it's the socialization. You meet the nicest people. I personally could probably be a loner, but this makes me get out, and I've never regretted. I think I can honestly say, Rob, that I have never regretted going on a single volunteer project. They never and I think that's a huge thing to be able to say.
That's quite an endorsement. What is it about RSVP that just the organization itself, the way that they give out volunteer opportunities? What is it that's attractive to you about that?
I think that I've been involved with 2 volunteer coordinators. Both have been excellent, and I think that's where it starts. They seem to seek out opportunities for us, and they're laid out beautifully in a newsletter, so you get to choose. And there's probably going to be, can't guarantee, but there's probably going to be something that would interest you. I can't emphasize that enough, the fact that these folks go out and they look for different opportunities because they know we're different people. But it is amusing and interesting and wonderful that I remember meeting Carol and her husband at another project, and Rose, and so you continue to see the same people, and it's really nice. Good.
So it's a real good way to just keep social.
Socialization is very important. Plus, we were digging today. That is very good for you. You really need to keep moving as seniors, and this This project would not be for everyone, quite obviously, but it was a lot of fun.
And I noticed you have a Fitbit too, and so when you're doing things like gardening and projects, your heart rate, you can get your heart rate
You can
into
get your heart rate up.
carb burning level or whatever they call it.
It's not, well, I'm sitting, so
yeah,
but
but
yes,
when you're out
yes,
there,
you can.
yeah,
Yes, you can.
And you mentioned Rose. Rose is an engagement leader, and you are also an engagement. I think Rose is today's engagement
leader.
But you are also an engagement leader. Talk a little bit about that and how you got involved with being an engagement leader for RSVP.
Well, I think it's good, and I believe the first one, I had met Carly, and then I had the pleasure of working at the Northern Virginia Senior Olympics with Ken.
Ken Kozloff.
Ken Kozloff, and that was fun. And two of my friends, we were also there with that, and I just liked the idea of helping to coordinate and to make it a good experience for the volunteers, and then I got interested. Well, maybe I can get some more people interested.
That's great. That's great. And it really makes a difference because when folks show up at some of these big events, and incidentally, the Olympics, registration starts for the Olympics June 1st and will be starting September 15th. We need over 100 volunteers for that. And a lot of these are important positions like keeping time and scoring, and folks like you and Ken and Rose that can sort of train people to do these things are really important, because otherwise people get there and they don't know what they're doing and then they feel frustrated, and we don't want that.
And that is extremely, and I have not run into that ever in an RSV project, because that can be very frustrating to get there and not know.
And most of the activities that you are involved with through RSVP are what we call one-offers. I mean, things where you show up. You tend to get, is that correct? You tend to get involved in more of the one-offers than the long-term.
So far. That's a fair assessment, yes.
And that fits into your. Wouldn't, but that fits into your schedule, and it's more convenient, and so that's great. Finally, for folks who are listening to this podcast, and maybe they're just about to retire, or they just retired, or they're wondering, why should I volunteer with RSVP, or why should I just volunteer at all? What would be your sort of parting message to them today?
Oh, please look up RSVP, get on the internet, look it up, choose an activity. You will not regret it. I just cannot say enough about how much volunteering has benefited me, and I believe the people I've been involved with feel the exact same way. I just don't know what else to say, except you, like I say, I have never been in my life a real joiner, but once you get into it, you can't stop.
Well, on that note, what better way to wrap this up? Sue, thank you again. We're going to let you get back to your garden project. Thank you for taking a couple minutes out. And for folks, just if you want more information on RSVP, you can visit us at www.rsvpnova.org or call Carly on the hotline at 703-403-5360. Until next time, this is Rob Payne. Thank you so much, and happy volunteering.